Welcome to the Absa Bank Regional Championship. It's a brand new day, the final day, and we bring you the first semi-final contest that features Koforidua Secondary Technical, St. Peter's SHS, and Pope John SHS and Minor Seminary. Let's meet the contestants as they introduce themselves. From Koforidua Sectech, we have two gentlemen. They are
Intim Kumipa Smith.
Obed Kabute Kabu.
Sitting next to Koforidua Sectech, we have St. Peter's SHS. Two gentlemen here to defend St. Peter's. They are
Amo Mariko Siofori. Satanam Kokude.
And then we also have two gentlemen defending the colors of Pope John SHS. They are
Entry Ernest.
Thank you very much.
Silas.
Thank you very much, Ernest and Silas. The Absa Bank Regional Championship is proudly sponsored by Absa Bank and supported by Joy News and YFM. It's a primetime production, and my name is Fifi Amwa Hope. This morning's contest will still work with the rules you have outlined previously, but just to remind you, let's wait for the judgment of the quizmaster. 3 points for a correctly answered major question, 1 for a bonus. If it involves calculations, we expect that you can execute that successfully in 30 seconds. And if you pick it for a bonus, you have 1 point. If you miss it, you lose that point. If it doesn't involve calculation, then we expect that you can do that in 10 good seconds. Koforidua St. Peter's, Pope John's, round 1. Koforidua Sectech. What mass of potassium oxide, K2O, is needed to prepare a 500 centimeters cube solution of 0.400 mole per dm cube concentration? Potassium is 39 and oxygen 16.0. Parry is ready.
We have 18.8 grams.
That is the answer. St. Peter's. What mass of NaCl is needed to prepare a 250 centimeters cube solution of 0.800 mole per dm cube concentration? Sodium 23, chlorine 35.0. Yes? Settle.
11.6 grams.
That's correct. Pope John, what mass of CaCl2 is needed to prepare a 800 centimeters cube solution of 0.700 mole per dm cube concentration? Calcium 40, chlorine 35.0. Which of you? Silas?
61.6 grams.
Exactly. Preamble. Determine the number of valence electrons present in the d orbital of the following ionic species. Right. Kufuria Sektek. SC plus. Obed, is your hand up? Let's hear you then.
2 electrons.
Bonus. St. Peter's.
1 electron.
Minus 1. I have 0. St. Peter's. Cu plus. Let's hear you, Kwesi.
8 electrons.
Bonus. Pope John.
9 electrons.
Minus 1. I have 10. I have 10. Pope John. Pope John. MN3 plus. Which of you? Okay. Ernest?
6 electrons.
Bonus. Kufuria.
8 electrons.
Minus 1. I have 4. I have 4. Give one of the main functions of the cell membrane. One of the main functions of the cell membrane. No repetitions. Let's hear Obed.
It regulates the entry of substances in and out of the cell.
That is correct. No repetitions. Let's hear St. Peter's. Let's hear you, Seto.
It serves to protect the inner parts of the cell.
That is also correct. Pope John.
It encloses the organelles in the cell.
I will accept it. Why are villi present in small intestine? Kufuria.
Villi are present in the small intestine for absorption of nutrients or the end product of digested food substances.
1 out of 3. St. Peter's, and I'll be back. Why is absorption of digested food needed? Yeah, settle.
The digested food substances have to be absorbed in order to be transported by the blood system to the different parts of the body for use in metabolic activities.
3 points. Pope Jones, what is passive transport? Let's hear you.
Passive transport is the movement of substances in and out of the cell through the cell membrane without the use of the energy of the cell.
3 points. Koforia, the villi fundamentally increases surface area to enable full absorption. So the absorption point was made, but the surface area that increases due to the presence of the villi was missing. The angle between vectors A and B, this is a preamble, is theta. Find their scalar product if you have it. Okay. Kufuria said, if A is equal to 8 and B is equal to 5 and theta is pi on 3.
$20.
Bonus. I have 20 root 3. St. Peter's. St. Peter's. A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 3 root 2 and theta is pi on 4. Crazy?
6.
Thank you. Pope John, A is equal to 12 and B is equal to 5 and theta is equal to pi on 6. Let's hear you, Salas.
30 root 3.
Bonus. I have 30. Find preamble. Find the values of the constants B and C, given that the inequality x squared plus bx plus c is greater than 0 has solution set. Find the values of the constants the values of the constants b and c, given that the inequality x squared plus bx plus c is greater than 0 has solution set. Koforia. X such that x is greater than 2 or x is less than -1. Barry?
Okay. B equals -1 and C equals -2.
That is correct. St. Peter's. St. Peter's. X is such that x is less than -5 or x is greater than -3. Kwesi. That is the answer. Kwesi, give us your answer again. Is the microphone on?
B is 8 and C is 15.
It's correct. Pope John. X such that x is less than -1 or x is greater than 0. Yes, Silas?
B is equal to 1 and C is equal to 0.
3 points. Koforia. Physics. Find the magnitude of the resultant of a 72 Newton force and a 96 Newton force that is perpendicular to it.
Okay. The magnitude of the resultant force is 120 Newton.
That is correct. St. Peter's. St. Peter's. Find, let's take it again. The magnitude of the result of a 15 Newton force and another force that is perpendicular to it is 25 Newton. Now, find the magnitude of the other force. Kwesi?
20 Newton.
That is the answer. Pope John. Pope John. Find the magnitude of the resultant of a 36 Newton force and a 15 Newton force that is perpendicular to it. Who is coming? Ernest?
39 Newton.
That's correct. Preamble, a short one. An object is projected at an angle of 60 degrees to the horizontal. An object is projected at an angle of 60 degrees to the horizontal. Now, Kofodia, find the horizontal distance the object moves in 2 seconds when the launch speed is 50 meters per second.
Okay, we have the horizontal distance to be 125 root 3.
Bonus. St. Peter's.
50 meters.
That's the answer. St. Peter's. St. Peter's. Find the horizontal distance the object moves in 4 seconds when the launch speed is 85 meters per second. Kwesi?
170 meters.
Exactly. Pope John. Find the time the object takes to move a horizontal distance of 20 meters when the launch speed is 50 meters per second. Right. Salas?
0.8 seconds.
Exactly. That brings us to the end of round one.
Tap into the convenience of ABSA contactless cards, another innovation that's turning banking on its head. Now, you can make fast, easy, and safe contactless payments for everyday items. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Alande. Make I walk you through my everyday life. Busy from the morning light. My to-do list long, shadow fit to overlap. So sharp, turn on mobile app. School fees check, light bills check. Though I'm with speed like a G4 jet. Baby, at the day I am not upset. Check, I don't even use checks to the check.
Join the ABSA family and make fast, easy, and safe transactions with our digital products. Log on to absa.com.gh. No long thing. We like them simple and easy.
Believe me, no long things in my life. Like I'm simple and easy.
Meet Abby, your 24/7 digital personal banker. Let Abby make payments, buy airtime, and check your balance for you on WhatsApp. Another digital innovation that gets things done. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Whoever you're doing it for, we'll help you get it done. Simply. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Alande, make I walk you through my everyday life. Busy, busy, busy from the morning light. My to-do list long, shadow fit to overlap. So sharp, sharp, turn on mobile app. School fees check, light bills check. Do I'm with speed like a G4 jet. Maybe at the day I am not upset. Check, I don't even use checks to the check.
Join the ABSA family and make fast, easy, and safe transactions with our digital products. Log on to absa.com.gh. No long thing. We like 'em simple and easy.
Believe me, no long things in my life. Like I'm simple and easy. Easy.
Whoever you're doing it for, we'll help you get it done. Simply. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Meet Abby, your 24/7 digital personal banker. Let Abby make payments, buy airtime, and check your balance for you on WhatsApp. Another digital innovation that gets things done. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Thank you very much. Let's respond to these concerns, two of them. The first one is from KSTS. In finding the scalar products, A is 8, B is 5, theta is pi on 3, the answer they gave us was 20, which in fact is correct. Then we have the second one from POJOSS. A is 12, B is 5, theta is pi on 6. They gave us 30 root 3. That is in fact correct. So at the end of round 1, with these amendments taken into account, Koforidua Secondary Technical School has 15 points. Pope John SHS and Minor Seminary has 20 points. And St. Peter's SHS has 21 points. Round 2. Let's have some silence so that our contestants can hear exactly what is presented for solution. Right. How much of a 200-gram sample of a radioisotope will remain after 19.2 hours if its half-life is 6.4 hours? St. Peter's, settle.
25 grams.
That is the answer. What name is given? What name is given to the gap in the myelin sheet? Pope Jones?
The notes of Ranvier.
That is correct. A charge experiences a 50 Newton force in a 1,000 volts per meter electric field. What is the magnitude? Koforidua? Koforidua?
The magnitude of the charge to be 0.5 coulomb.
St. Peter's?
50 millicoulombs.
Okay. What is the magnitude of the force a 240 volts per meter electric field exerts on the charge? Pope John?
12 Newton.
That is correct. Ernest. So let's keep the microphones on, okay? Good. Find the second derivative of the function y is equal to 3x cubed minus 4x squared plus 5. St. Peter's?
d squared y on dx squared is equal to 18x minus 8.
That's correct. The first term of an exponential sequence is 3. The first term of an exponential sequence is 3. The product of the second and the third terms is 343. Find the common ratio. Koforia.
The common ratio is cube root of 38.
Cube root of
38.
POJOSS.
The common ratio.
Pope.
The common ratio is 7 root 9 on 9.
I can't accept it. I have 3. Determine the sum of the coefficients of all reactants and products in a balanced equation of the reaction H2O plus NH3 plus CuSO4 going to Cu, bracket opens, OH, bracket closes, subscript 2, plus NH4 in bracket subscript 2, SO4. Koforia.
9.
Come again?
9.
St. Peter, sorry.
7.
Who rank? Pope Jones. I have 2 here. Two. St. Peter's.
7.
What?
7.
That's correct. What is the maximum number of hydrogen bonds that can be formed by a molecule of water? Peters.
4.
4 is correct. Name the process. Name the process of burning. Name the process of burning municipal solid waste under suitable temperature and conditions in a specific. St. Peter's?
Incineration.
That's the answer. A pure sine wave A pure sine wave of amplitude 20.0 volts is rectified using a diode bridge full wave rectifier. Find the DC level of the bridge output. $12.7 volts. Simplify. Root 3 plus 2 in brackets on root 3 minus Peters.
Negative 5 minus 4 root 3.
I don't have that. Koforia.
If negative 7 minus 4 root 3.
Did Pope John ring? You rang. Okay.
7 plus 4 root 3.
I have 5 plus 2 root 6. That's what I have. 5 plus 2 root 6. The question is root 3 plus root 2 in brackets on root 3 minus root 2. What? I read root 3 plus root 2 in brackets on root 3. I don't think I even finished the second one. Root 3 plus root 2. No problem. Find the values of the constant B and C, given that the inequality x squared plus bx plus c is greater than 0, has solution set x such that x is greater than 3 or x is less than negative. PJ?
B is minus 1 and C is minus 6.
Now, let me complete the question. X is less than negative 5. Peters.
C is negative 15 and B is 2.
That's correct. Which molecule is the first acceptor of CO2? St. Peter's.
Oxaloacetate.
Pope John also rang.
The coenzyme A.
In C4 plants. I have phosphoenol pyruvate. The last question in the round. To determine the focal length of a concave spherical mirror, an optical pin is moved along the optical axis of the mirror until its image position coincides with its position. If the distance between this pin position and the mirror vertex is measured to be 40 centimeters, Peters,
20 centimeters.
What is the radius of curvature? Koforia?
40 centimeters.
That is the answer. That brings us to the end of round 2.
Meet Abby, your 24/7 digital personal banker. Let Abby make payments, buy airtime, and check your balance for you on WhatsApp. Another digital innovation that gets things done. That's Africanacity, that's ABSA.
Whoever you're doing it for, we'll help you get it done. Simply. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Thank you, audience. Thank you, audience. Thank you, audience. KSTS is effecting a substitution. Obed Kabute is leaving us, and Abuni Gideon is joining us. Welcome, Gideon. All right, all right, all right. Thank you very much. At the end of the second round, in as much as we cannot do without our audience, we will appreciate it if you cooperate with us to run successfully. When it's time to cheer, you can do so. And when we need your silence, kindly give it to us. At the end of the second round, Koforidua Secondary Technical School has 14 points. Hope Jones SHS 21 points. And St. Peter's SHS has 34 points. Round 3. Round 3. It is never a done deal, especially when the second position may qualify for the finals. Let's remain focused to the round 3, and I'm starting from Pope John. Sodium is a better reducing agent than potassium. Silas?
False.
Silas? That is correct. Koforidua. Lithium is a better reducing agent than sodium. Which of you? True. Gideon. It's a false statement. -1. St. Peter's. Potassium is a better reducing agent than cesium. Seto.
False.
That is correct. Pope John. Kerosene dissolves in water at high pressure. Yes, Silas? True. Try it at home, -1. Koforidua. Koforidua. Gasoline dissolves in sea water.
False.
Gideon. That is correct. St. Peter's. Diesel dissolves in heavy water. Come, settle.
False.
That is correct. Pope Jones. Vascular bundles in dicot stem are closed, conjoint, and edge. Silas? True. Silas, -1. Kofodia. Vascular bundles in dicot stem are open, conjoint, and exarch. True, -1. St. Peter's. Vascular bundles in dicot stem are closed, conjoint, and exarch. Settle.
False.
That is correct. Pope John. Enterokinase helps in the conversion of lactose to sucrose.
False.
That is correct. Kofodia. Enterokinase helps in the conversion of pepsinogen to pepsin.
False.
That is correct. St. Peter's. Enterokinase helps in the conversion. Enterokinase helps in the conversion of proteins into polypeptides. Settle.
False.
Again?
False.
That's correct. Pope John. The domain of all right, Pope John. The domain of the function y equals 3x is the set of x such that x is greater than 0.
False.
That's correct. Kufuria. The range of the function y equals 3 exponent x is the set of y such that y is greater than 0. True. That's correct. St. Peter's. The domain of the function y is equal to log x is a set of x such that x is greater than 0. Settle.
True.
You are right. Pope John. A linear function is 1-to-1.
True.
That, in fact, is correct. Kofodia. A quadratic function is 1-to-1.
False.
That is correct. St. Peter's. A quadratic function is onto. Settle.
False.
Settle. That is correct. Pope John, preamble first. In a constant volume gas thermometer, Pope Jones, the thermometric property is gas volume.
False.
Come again?
False.
That's correct. Parry and Gideon. The thermometric property is gas pressure.
True.
Gideon, you are in battle. That is correct. St. Peter's. Celsius temperature is proportional to gas pressure. Come.
False.
That is correct. Last set of questions in the round. Pope John. 4 kilograms of lead has less mass but more inertia than 8 kilograms of feathers. Which of you? Come.
False.
That is correct. Kufuria. 4 kilograms of lead has more inertia than 8 kilograms of feathers.
False.
Thank you. St. Peter's. 4 kilograms of lead has more weight than 8 kilograms of feathers. Settle.
False.
Excellent. That brings us to the end of round 3.
Alande, make I walk you through my everyday life. Busy from the morning light. My to-do list long, shadow fit to overlap. So sharp, turn on mobile app. School fees check, light bills check. Do I'm with speed like a G4 jet. Be at the day, I am not upset. Check, I don't even use checks, city check.
Join the ABSA family and make fast, easy, and safe transactions with our digital products. Log on to absa.com.gh. No long thing. We like 'em simple and easy.
Believe me, no long things in my life, though. Like I'm simple and easy.
Meet Abby, your 24/7 digital personal banker. Let Abby make payments, buy airtime, and check your balance for you on WhatsApp. Another digital innovation that gets things done. That's Africanacity, that's ABSA.
Whoever you're doing it for, we'll help you get it done. Simply. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Tap into the convenience of ABSA contactless cards, another innovation that's turning banking on its head. Now, you can make fast, easy, and safe contactless payments for everyday items. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
KSTS has 24 points. POJOSS SHS 31 points. St. Peter's SHS 47 points. Let's take the scores again. KSTS has 24 points. POJOSS School has 31 points. And St. Peter's SHS has 50 points. Round 4. Your reading clues 5, 4, 3. I am one of the placentations found in angiosperms. In my type of placentation, the gymnasium is polycapillary. The partition walls are found in the early stage of the ovary, forming chambers which are later dissolved and the ovary becomes unilocular. I lack scepter. I possess only one swollen placenta bearing a few ovules and is born at the center. Pope John. Clearly into the microphone.
Free central placentation.
Kufuor, are pressed, but they are right. Second riddle. I am a type of chemical bond. I am highly selective in my occurrence. I am an intermolecular bond. I am only present, St. Peter's.
Hydrogen bonding.
Why not? On the third clue, 3 points. Third riddle. I am a force. I do not have an existence of my own. I am obtained by adding forces vectorially. St. Peter's?
Resultant force.
That is the answer. On the third clue, 3 points. I am a 3-digit number. I am a 3-digit number. I am between 500 and 600. My digits are consecutive digits in some order. Koforidia.
$576.
I'm sorry. If you reverse my digits, the new number is between 600 and 700. St. Peter's.
46.
That is correct. That brings us to the end of the first semi-final contest.
Alande, make I walk you through my everyday life. Busy from the morning light. My to-do list long, shadow fit to overlap. So sharp, turn on mobile app. School fees check, light bills check. Do I'm with speed like a G4 jet. You be at the day, I am not upset. Check, I don't even use checks to the check.
Join the ABSA family and make fast, easy, and safe transactions with our digital products. Log on to absa.com.gh. No long tail. We like them simple and easy.
Believe me, no long things in my life, though. Like I'm simple and easy.
Whoever you're doing it for, we'll help you get it done. Simply. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Meet Abby, your 24/7 digital personal banker. Let Abby make payments, buy airtime, and check your balance for you on WhatsApp. Another digital innovation that gets things done. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Tap into the convenience of ABSA contactless cards, another innovation that's turning banking on its head. Now, you can make fast, easy, and safe contactless payments for everyday items. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Alande, make I walk you through my everyday life.
Thank you very much. But before I announce the scores, let me go back and clarify an error. Admittedly, going into a final round with a difference of 7 and a difference of 4 changes or possibly could change the picture. Unfortunately, there is an error which we will clarify, and all we can do at this point is to apologize. It is an educative program, and we need to send out the correct facts. The question that KSTS protested, the consultant has gone back on his word, and the points will be awarded to Koforidua Sectec. That changes the picture at the end of the third round to 27 Koforidua Sectec, 37 POJOSS, and 50 St. Peter's. Let me apologize profusely for this error. At the end of the fourth round, KSTS has 27 points, POJOSS has 34 points, and St. Peter's SHS has 59 points. Thank you for joining us for the ABSA Bank Regional Championship from the Eastern Region. Do join us as we bring you the second semi-final in the next contest. The ABSA Bank Zonal Championship is proudly sponsored by ABSA Bank and supported by Joy News and YFM. This indeed is a prime time production. Thank you.
Whoever you're doing it for, we'll help you get it done. Simply. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.